I would like to begin with a sincere prayer for all of the precious lives that have passed on and for all of those grieving the loss of a loved one on this Memorial Day weekend. May all beings be at peace. Today, I am going to share my personal story about finding the middle way by experiencing fear through duality. In this dualistic world, we experience taking sides of for or against, good or bad, right or wrong, black or white. When we polarize to one of the opposing sides, we cannot see the middle way. The middle way is resting between opposites. In this still point resting place, we can get a glimpse of our original, true nature. In the face of the obstacles created by the pandemic, I took a side about the vaccine. I was on the side of not taking the vaccine up until I had an eye-opening moment. I was asked to share my personal story. If it helps one person that might be experiencing judgment on either side, then it is worth sharing my vulnerability. People have become divided on many issues such as this, and I speak today to encourage us to approach others with understanding and unity despite our differences. The hardships I faced when I was on the side of against were numerous. I suffered deeply by what others were saying and my perception of their feelings about me. I played it safe and stayed at home. I was completely convinced that I would not budge on my convictions and that I could handle the restrictions I knew my choice would create for me. I knew that it made no sense to the people in my life. My mother, who is a nurse, gave the vaccine to large groups of people and could not understand where I was coming from. The good thing was that I learned certain people in my life were willing to work with me regardless of our opposing views. This included my mom, who surprised me by respecting my wish to not talk about it. It did, however, create a divide for me with other people, which was very hurtful. There was a turning point when I woke up to the realization of the fear I had been holding on to, which was based on taking a side. I was at the Raleigh outdoor mini retreat on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. We were asked upon arrival if we had been vaccinated. I told the truth, that I had not. I had so many emotions attached to this choice that I felt embarrassed in front of the group. We started the retreat with lie-down meditation under the bright blue sky. As I was laying there, I heard a plane passing over on its way to the airport. It caused me to open my eyes and look up. As I was watching the plane, a blue heron came flying on the exact same path as the airplane from the opposite direction. This eye-opener created a shift in my mind. In the scriptures of Won Buddhism, Yi Chongwan asked, "What can I do so that I do not get attached to either hatred or love, and so that I can maintain a well-rounded state of mind?" The founding master said, "The method for remaining free of attachment to hatred or love depends on always knowing how to redirect one's thoughts well." At that moment, when the plane and the heron crossed from opposite directions, my thoughts were redirected. I realized that I was attached to fear, causing me to be against getting the vaccine. Upon a sudden moment, I redirected my thoughts from not getting the vaccine to getting the vaccine. The inorganic nature of the plane led me to see the organic bird. My fear about the vaccine's inorganic nature was conflicting with my desire of being organic. I had quit fearing the virus because I thought fear attracts that which we fear the most. I then realized that I wasn't afraid of the virus anymore, but I was afraid of the vaccine. In this scenario of the plane and heron crossing in the middle, I would not have seen the bird if it were not for the airplane. It opened my eyes to seeing that I was attached to a duality side, which I hadn't seen before. The polarity of my choice about the vaccine as for or against became very clear to me at that moment. As soon as I surrendered and detached from that fear and separation, I was shown the unification that we cannot see when we are stuck in the black or the white. I knew that I must take action for the whole, and I got my appointment for the vaccine the next day. I put my trust in the unity of the one infinite circle and my original true nature, instead of my trust and belief in the illusion and fear. When I finally surrendered to unity, I was free like a bird released from a cage. The scripture says, "Give rise to a mind that even while responding does not abide anywhere." That is where I am when I walk the middle path. I am in the infinite in-between, between perception of right or wrong. I am in surrender and trust when I let go of attachment of right or wrong. The founding masters said, if the mind has attachments, then one is not a person of the way. I do not have to remain a recluse in my home now that I have the vaccine. We are taught in Won Buddhism that the path is for all and to be of service to the world. I cannot be of service to the world if I disconnect from the world. Have you ever heard, be in the world but not of the world? When I finally released that which I was holding onto so tightly, I couldn't hold back the tears. I cried the tears of my fears and my surrender to them. In an article by Jack Kornfield called Finding the Middle Way, he quotes from the Perfect Wisdom text, "Realization of suchness beyond attainment of good or bad, ever present with all things as both the path and the goal." I was resistant to the vaccine at first, but now I'm grateful for new opportunities, and I look forward to participating in temple activities here to come.